This episode is sponsored by Just for Kicks Teacher Program, your ultimate destination for all your dancewear needs. Studio owners and teachers enjoy special discounts on dancewear essentials, including shoes, poms, leotards, themed bike tards, dance dresses, costumes, and more. Plus, don't miss out on our dance costume liquidation page, where you can find incredible deals on high-quality costumes at unbeatable prices. With a wide range of in-stock items ready to ship when you need them fast, and top-notch customer service, we're here to support you every step of the way. Visit us at justforkicks.com and click on the teacher program in the header, or call 1-800-450-DANCE to get started today. Good morning. I'm Cindy Clow.
And Allie Garrett.
And we coach together. She's my daughter, and we have 3 other coaches with us every day of the week coaching, which is awesome to have 5 coaches. But we just thought it'd be fun to just banter about how the first week has gone and how crazy it is. I overslept today, so I think it kicked my butt a little.
You're tired this week.
You're tired and you're not sleeping as good because you're thinking about everything that's going on, and it's real. The stress of the season is real. So
I really feel like too, it's, I know like every state is different, but in Minnesota we have 2 weeks of choreography prior to the season starting, and so you're like doing formations, but you don't really know if they're going to work until that first week, and so you're doing tryouts in the first week, but then you're also like, okay, are all these formations going to work? And if they don't, it ruins the whole rest of the dance.
Right, it's so scary, and some of them are really working, but we did a kind of a dumb thing where we accidentally left off one kid that we wanted in, and then we had put other kids in. And we were like, oh my God, like when we got to practice, and she was our captain, so she definitely was going to be in.
Right.
It just was like we were all moving parts and her name got left off. And then we got there and it was kind of an, oh, you know what moment. And so then we decided, well, maybe we should add a few more kids in, give more chances, start out with a little bit bigger team, and then have to trim down if that were the case. Because sometimes you don't know who's going to rise up.
Right. And so we were kind of saying, we have, I don't even know how many, 30 kids over on varsity right now. Mm-hmm. And so we had 24 in the formation, and then we decided after that to go up to 28 because, you're watching all these dancers on the side, and it is different when you're on the side versus when you're in, like you don't get as tired. And so I feel like
when you're not moving as far. So
when you're in, you're going to really see more who can do it. So we were kind of like, we might end up going back to 24, but this way we can kind of see who rises up.
And one of the things Allie does pretty great is she does it all on software. What do you use again?
I use the Arrange Us app now. I used to have a way harder one that was harder to use, and now since that's been developed, it's changed the game. I think a lot of people use Arrange Us or Choreographic. They're very similar.
So now the big thing is to keep those old formations in case we have to go back to them. Mm-hmm. One thing we didn't do this year, but that we do some years, is send them the formations before they get to practice.
I did do it last night.
You did it last night. Yeah. So today when they come, they're going to know the rest of the dance because we got probably halfway through. We just maybe a little more than half so far. So anyway, flipping back a little bit, on our first 2 days of practice, we watch the kids and do our analysis as to who should be on varsity and who should be on JV. And I think it's hard in Minnesota because we have to compete on November 16th, and the first week is October 21st. So it doesn't give you a lot of time.
And we try to get both of our dances ready.
Yeah, which as sitting up today is Friday, we're like, oh my gosh, we haven't even started jazz. We haven't even seen jazz at all, but we've gotten a lot done with kick. But what I think we did better this year, and I got to credit our assistant coach Julie for this, she came up with the idea. Normally we do, I feel like last year when we did our placements, it was a little bit of a disaster because we did it at practice at the beginning of a practice on maybe day 3. And kids,
just a lot of emotions.
And kids got upset, and if they didn't make varsity and they thought they should have. But this year we sent it out privately and band on night 2. So we had made our decisions by night 2.
And we told them at the end of practice, it'll be coming out tonight. We're going to post the list in band. It'll say if you're on varsity or JV. And this is kind of the first cut of varsity. Know that we're going to cut again and move some more people down to JV.
And then maybe move some people over from JV that are on JV now.
You just never know.
There's some kids over there that I'm like, oh, I think they could do varsity. So, yeah, there'll be movement back and forth. But we didn't have the emotion at practice. And I did have a talk with everybody and said, now this is coming out tonight. Then we decided to wait till after the football game because we found out there was a football game and we thought we don't want them having the drama at the football game. So we did it right after that so they would have been home. And then they can have their emotions in their, privacy of their own home. And I don't remember where I was going with this.
That you were talking to him about it.
Oh, yeah. That I talked to them about how they react to it and that we have a great JV team. And our team is a strong team. I mean, we're coming off a state championship. And our JV team won a ton last year.
It was probably our best year our JV has had.
Mm-hmm. So we just wanted to go, enjoy even if you make JV, we want you dancing. And I know my friend Jenny Raish from Eastview, she doesn't like swings at all. She likes them either, or alternates, whatever you call them. She likes them either dancing JV or dancing varsity and nobody in the back. And that's what I kind of would like, because I feel like you send a video to JV and say, hey, I want to bring you up to varsity.
Kids are going to learn it.
They're going to learn it overnight. They're going to, if they find out. So I don't think, however, the flip side is if you have an injury quick, like last year we had a girl on our team, really smart, and she could go in any spot. And I think she went in 6 or 7 times. So that's the argument the other way, that
it's nice to have somebody that knows kind of the ropes of what's happening.
Even if someone's sick one day, they can go in that spot. So you have to figure out for yourself what's better, to have them in the back, always knowing it and ready to go in on a moment's notice, or coming over from your junior varsity, whichever way it is. But I think going into practice this week too, the other thing is to really be prepared. And being that we switched to the second formations, Allie was kind of surprised because yesterday at practice, I was there the whole practice, but I was so into fixing formations and like making stuff work, and then I would do something and I was like, oh my gosh, that didn't work, hold on, I gotta fix that. And I got home last night and I started watching the video like late last night, and I was like, oh my gosh, they got a lot of choreography and like different things filled in that like we had talked about during the day of stuff we wanted to fill in, but I literally didn't look up from my iPad for like the whole practice. So I was kind of surprised at like how much better they looked at some things, and then the stuff that got put in. Yeah, and I think I had made a list that I think going into practice, and having 3 coaches at varsity really helps. But everyone has to play a role. So while she was doing the formations the night before, I had made a list of, we need to fill in this. It'd be. And I think that's something you do really well. That I feel like I tend to be like I'm creative, but I'm not very organized when it comes to that kind of stuff. So like she's always like, we need a list of each part, and it does help because when you get there, you're like, okay, we need to travel at this part. Okay, now we need to fill in the state count. And that's what I did. I think I had a list of like 10 or 15 things, and I kind of divided some kids up, and we got it done. So you were surprised when you saw that we filled all that in. So that's neat. But I do think that every day going into practice, like we don't always have our choreography all the way done like most people. We're doing a lot of it on the spot, but we sometimes get there half hour early if we can, and that's not always possible. But then we're going, okay, for today, I'm such a visual person too, so a lot of times I'm like, I don't know, we'll figure it out when we get there, because I feel like once I see it, I'm like, okay, this is what it should be. But then if you do it that way, then you need somebody that's orchestrating it to get it done. Right. So my big thing at practice, and I know I get kind of annoying, but you always got to keep moving. You always got to keep pushing, because otherwise you get behind. So like sometimes if it gets bogged down, like the other day I had to take a walk around the school really quick because I was like panicking. I was having anxiety about how slow it was going, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna. But she does move faster than anybody in the whole world. I think everyone would say that about you. But that's how you get it done. I know. That's how we utilize every minute to try to get it done. But one thing we're going to try to do this year is keep a calendar that we write down, okay, today we're this far, wish we would have done this, should have done this. Loved how we did our cuts. Because next year you will not remember. It was Julie that went, we can't do the placements like we did it last year because we had all the drama. So then we changed it this year. So I think keeping a little calendar, those calendars you get at camp are awesome because they're just small and you can write in there what you did good. And also go, there's been years where you're like, have we ever been this behind going into a competition? You could look back, go, yeah, we were, and we made it work. And I wish I knew where we were at last year on like this Friday, because I felt really ahead last year. Like by the time we got to our holiday show, I felt like we were so ahead. Like I remember going to the holiday show and being like, oh my gosh, we have both of our dances done, and I feel like good about it. Where there's been some years where we're like in panic mode and like, we can't do our jazz dance too. There's no way. If you're a dancer looking for more, You can check out our Just for Kicks camps and attend one in the summer. You can also check a youth program in your area. We're in 200 communities right now, and maybe we'll be adding one in your area soon. Thanks for tuning in today, and we wish you the best as you navigate your season no matter where you are. Good luck.